Hi guys, my name is Meads. This is going to be a review for Sentinel's re-edit Iron Man line, and we have the Marvel Now version. Now this is the black and gold version. There's actually an exclusive that is red and gold. I'm hoping to get that one as well, but I may have to wait a little bit. Those exclusives, why? Now I got this through Amiami, this black and gold version. It's really nice. And I'm a big fan of Iron Man, just in terms of design. Unfortunately, I don't really read the comics. I just like the character itself. Who wouldn't? And also, this is going to be a blind review, meaning I know little or not at all about the character, as I mentioned. So here we go. So here's a nice box art. We got a line art right there. Inside, we got the windowed box held by Velcro. We have Iron Man here with a lot of hands, which is great. I like that. Unfortunately, I don't see any effect parts. I'm not sure if it's hidden or it's not shown here. We'll see. On the side here, we got some nice artwork right there. It says there, Hero Knox. On the back side, we have another. This is kind of like more of a photo of him. So that's really nice, and kind of like on top of it, see the re-edit. And number 6 on top and bottom. That's pretty much it. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and open it up and continue up with the review. Alright, so we have the typical Sentinel re-edit base. This is for their Iron Man figures. It's really nice. You got some clear acrylic backing here. It's pretty much the same for all of them, except they made a few improvements for this iteration now. One of the earlier ones, they have the rivet, and I'm talking about this part here. Now they replaced it with a screw which you can tighten, which is a great thing. Because before, when you have it in the flight post, it will always slope down. I had to put kind of like electrical tape around it for a way to stay in that position. But now, I have a way to tighten it. But yeah, really nice, and you have the silicone padding here around the waist, so you protect the paint as you wrap it around. Yeah, really cool. And you could also stack this around. There's actually clear connectors here. But if you've been collecting Sentinel re-edit line, you probably know this already. But just for those who are new to this particular line, yeah. Anyways, let's continue. Alright, so a quick comparison with the Extremis armor. That color scheme does make a big difference. But also the molding is quite a bit different as well. And one thing I've been noticing is the proportion of the head. It's a bit small. It's kind of like when you put a sock on top of your head. It like kind of squeezes or makes your head shrink. It feels like that. But it's a bit weird because you're putting armor on. And I mean, it's not going to be like the motorcycle helmet will make it too big for the extra padding. But still, they could have made it a little bit bigger. And as well as the neck area. There's actually gaps in between there. I mean, you can kind of see it here. It's too narrow, I guess. But definitely the new mold for the Marvel Now is different. You get a bigger arm here. Even the joint here, it's a lot bigger. It's a lot more fuller. And even the legs here, just a lot more, it's more heft to it. So this is really nice. And it kind of blends well for having a black color scheme. Even though it's big and bulky, the black color can just make it sleek. Moving on, size-wise, it's about 7¼ inch. And for metric, we're looking at about, let's see here. It's about 19 centimeters. Yeah. It's a fairly tall figure. Alright, so let's go over details and articulation. So first off, a really nice gold there, as well as that nice gloss black finish. It's really great, and they even have a matte finish here on the side of the chest. That's really nice. And even the joints here for the elbow, it's a little different. Just a lot of varying colors. Get gunmetal on the back there. Really cool. And you have the red pieces here for the back of the shoulder. over here as well. The forearm, the back guard. It's a lot of those. Kind of curious what those. I wonder if they're like reactor. That's probably why he's more bulkier. But yeah, really nice design. I like it. Alright, so for articulation, so first off, never pull the head off because that's kind of how this whole thing is interconnected in terms of the LED lighting. But we can move this side to side. It's jointed on the base of the neck and the base of the torso. It's a bit limited, but for what we need it for, it's good enough. Another thing with the head here, that part there is fixed, but yeah, you can swivel this upward. Quite nice. Now for the shoulder, I believe this is hinged, and you can move that hinge down. That's great for when you move your arm up. Then you get your bicep swivel. Then you get your elbow bend, double jointed, and it covers the back part of the elbow quite nicely. I mean, we still have the you still gotta have those hinges there, but it's quite nice. Then on the forearm here, you got your kind of like another plate, which I like. I prefer it on the end of the forearm. Well, is it? No, actually. Well, actually, this one is not too bad. I actually prefer it part of the hand. I always find this little flaps here a little odd, but it's not too bad for this one. They're actually quite nice. Although the hands seems to be a little small compared to the rest of the body. That's a little too small. Maybe they could have made it a little bit bigger. But moving on, we have also part of the torso, the shoulder, I forgot to mention, is you can move this forward here. You got that movement, which you can kind of see on the back side here. Really nice. Then onto the torso, you got that ball joint. Then even onto the waist. And onto the back. There we go. And while we're at it, we can turn on the LED. So for the LED, there's a screw connection there. That's for the batteries. You just remove that and you can connect the two batteries right there. Otherwise, there's a hatch here. And there's a switch there. It's a little too narrow. Gonna have to have long fingers, or maybe use your pinky nail. There we go. I think from before, there's like a panel that you pop out. I kind of like this idea, but just that it's kind of hard to reach in. So here we go. I'm gonna turn off some of my light. Nice red. Really cool. I kind of wish the shoulders and everything else has that light up too. Maybe if they ever make a Sentinel, you know, the kind of like the Ultraman, the 12-foot, it's gonna be freaking expensive, but it'll be really amazing. Who knows? They might be thinking of doing that. Let me just turn off this. There we go. Gotta use your finger. Yeah, your pinky fingernail. Anyways, you have the waist here that you can slide up. Which they've been doing this quite often now with their figures. I like it. It works. And then you have your waist area here. You can move up. Actually, this is kind of odd, because this part here does not move at all. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how that thing is connected. Oh, I see. So it looks like there's an L joint that connects to the back plate here, and you kind of see that this whole thing, there's a space there that allows it to move forward. Oh, that's really cool. And just kind of keeps that. Yeah, because that joint allows you to move this up and down. Oh, that's really nice. And another thing they've done is the swivel point, or the high swivels on the back plate, or behind this front plate. So you can rotate this. Oh, that's really cool. Then now for the knee, you have that full knee, which is nice. Yeah, it's interesting. And even that it separates. Not only that, on the back side, it collapsed. And they always been doing that, and that's always been great. Yeah, the Sentinel always does the joints quite nicely, especially for the knee. That's really cool. Yeah, that's great. Other than that, you have your ankle joint here, which is quite movable, and you have your toe joint, and it's a little bit separate there. I kind of like that when they've extended a little bit. As long it works well when it's standing, it's not one of those loose things. Then all of a sudden it keeps popping off the toe up, but it works quite well. Anyways, that's pretty much it for articulation. Let's go over the hands. Actually, there's no effect parts, unfortunately, but you know, despite that, we have a variety of hands. Let's go over that. Alright, so we have 5 pairs of hands in total. You have the closed fist. You have your relaxed hands here. There we go. Nicely detailed. Then you have more of a dynamic open hands pose here. And you have this one. The reflector blast. And you have another open one for, I guess, the repulsor blast. Also, I forgot to mention about the die cast. There is some die cast here, and especially you can kind of feel it on the lower part. I think it's on this leg here, and I think it's mostly just on the center part here on the leg. I'm not feeling anything on the bottom side here, or even the sole. So there is some weight, and it's kind of centered here on the core. Otherwise, the top part, that's where all the electronics and LEDs are. But otherwise, the arms, lower leg, they're all just plastic and just painted quite nicely. Alright, so why don't we do the epic 3-point landing pose of Iron Man? Let's do that. Alright, so I believe it goes like this. This goes into the back here. Bend the knee. And move this up here. Let's see how far we can pull this up. I think that's pretty much how far we can go. May not be perfect though. Yeah, you cannot really move that far, but that's probably good enough. I was hoping that the arm can reach a little bit further down, but I think that is the limitation of that. So he kind of does it, but definitely that's probably not one of the cool poses we can do with this. Alright, so why don't we try a different one. Let's swap out the hand here. There we go. It's just a ball joint. Let's go with, where's that hand? Nope, that's the wrong hand. There we go. So swap it with this. It's always a little tricky in doing it the first time. Alright. So make sure you hold it securely. Yeah, securely. Is that even a word? Yeah, that's the thing with this design here. Yeah, when you have it on this position here, it kind of looks weird. Yeah, I think that's why I probably prefer it when the guard here is connected to the back of the hand. It's supposed to be like that, but well, can't really do much. It's part of the design. Yeah, there we go. It's really nice. That pretty much concludes the review for Sentinel's Marvel Now Iron Man. It looks amazing. I really like the paint scheme as well as the joint system. They've It always surprises me. They always change it. From the bleeding edge to the extremist armor, and now to this. Which is great. I really like the engineering that went into making this figure. Really cool, and I highly recommend getting it. Now, it's a bit lacking in terms of effect parts, but we do have some awesome gimmicks, like I mentioned, in terms of the plate shifting on the joints, and we have the LED for the chest and for the eyes. And I mean, the effect parts is great to have for the blast, but it's not necessarily needed. And especially if you're gonna be displaying this, just standing up, kind of like in a gantry. Yeah, I can do without the effect parts this time. Yeah, but regardless, really, really great figure, and I highly recommend getting it. Again, got mine from Amiami. I'm fairly sure there's a lot of outlets out there selling this particular figure. And that's about it. If you got questions, let me know. So until then, this is Meads. Thanks for watching.